What's up, everyone? I'm System Check 66. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Shenmue 4 apparently is happening. It's been kind of all over Google. I went on there yesterday and I got to see some info and stuff. You know, pull some info. I'm reading from Metro. So yeah, it says fans have amassed a body of evidence that Shenmue 4 is going ahead after all. Following comments by Lashka or Lakshia Digital, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Yu Suzuki, who is the director of Shenmue. Or the Shenmue series. To many people, Shenmue 3 was the most anticipated video game sequel of all time, but the game's poor performance at retail made it clear that mainstream audiences weren't really interested. You know, looking back at my time playing Shenmue 3, this is from me now, I'm not reading from Metro, it is a good game. I liked it. I thought it was definitely worthy of like an 8 out of 10, definitely. It was like a 7.9 if you want to get specific, you know, because it still had that magic of the older Shenmue games, but it also had problems, you know. I didn't discount that it had problems. So, good game. I personally thought it was alright, definitely. Going back to Metro, it says, together with the lukewarm critical response, that immediately puts plans for Shenmue 4 and Shenmue 5 into question, which is something that I was fearing, especially given how much money was raised through crowdfunding and outside investment, which might not be quite so forthcoming a second time. Series creator Yu Suzuki definitely wants to see it happen though, and so does Indian studio Lakshya Digital, who posted a message on Facebook that ended with the exclamation, "We look forward to working on Shenmue 4 very soon." So that's quite interesting. The thing with projects, they can go ahead, people can start funding them. It happens with films all the time, you know, it's happened with games as well. If any of you remember StarCraft Ghost, it was a spin-off game in the StarCraft series, and it was supposed to be like a third-person shooter. And that was like on a hiatus for so long, like, but it was getting created and then eventually got scrapped. So, you know, people can start making projects, it's just if they can finish those projects, you know, and if the money stretches that far. Some fans have already taken that as a confirmation that Shenmue 4 is in pre-production, but while that seems a bit premature, a post on the official Shenmue forum has collected a range of evidence suggesting preliminary work has already begun. Some of the would-be evidence is a bit of a stretch, but the two most convincing examples are a Famitsu interview with Yu Suzuki where he says he's starting a new open-world game project in 2020. That's interesting. It's got to be Shenmue. And a tweet from writer-producer Cedric Biscay about moving on to the next steps after Shenmue 3. A video interview with Biscay also suggests the plan is to start work on Shenmue 4 as soon as possible. Well, there you go. If you plan on doing a fourth installment of a game, you have to keep your team. So you need to start as soon as possible. Otherwise the team would leave and you'd miss your opportunity to make the new game. That's from Biscay himself. Even publisher KOCH Koch Media I think that's how you, or Koch Media, let's just say their name's Koch Media, okay, have been caught posting suspicious tweets, with the one below being a clear reference to Shenmue. As the forum post also points out, there's a lot of cut content from Shenmue 3, and even with its rushed conclusion, the story is far from complete. Well, yeah, that's why it ends on a cliffhanger. But it all comes down to money. Yu Suzuki and his team are clearly keen to do more, but will they get the backing they need to make another game? Now, the Koch Media UK tweet was, "I see then 2020" in big letters. So is that it? I think that's it. Okay, so my thoughts on everything. Look, a Shenmue 4 is inevitable. It's a game us fans definitely need, and we kind of need it to at least continue the story or finish everything. Shenmue 5, so 2 more Shenmue games. I would prefer they finish everything and round everything off with Shenmue 4. They can do it. They can make it longer than the previous game. You know, they can make the worlds bigger, you know, etc., etc. So yeah, but if it, you know, if it turns out that it's got to be a Shenmue 4 and then a Shenmue 5, then, you know, it's got to happen. I want to see a Shenmue 4, I want to see a Shenmue 5. I know a lot of people are disappointed by Shenmue 3, and I can see why. I'm not stupid to that fact. You know, I'm not a hypocrite. I can see that Shenmue 3 has flaws, you know, big flaws. But it was also, I can't help feeling that it was also like it felt like a true Shenmue experience. It did to me, personally. I liked it. That's, you know, that's just all that's got to be kind of said on my part. I liked the game, you know, and I'm not talking shit. I'm not trying to you know, trying to say I like it when I don't. I like the game. I enjoyed it. There was a load of shit, if you go back and watch my review on it, there's a load of shit that I don't like. But overall, the vibe, the atmosphere, the tone, the music, everything, you know, Rio, just everything, the exploration, even though the fighting's a bit ropey, it was still fun in places, you know, and the old school QTE segments, I loved all of it, like, honestly, like, apart from the few things that bugged me and irritated me, I like the experience as a whole. So, you know, Shenmue 4 is, like, I'm surprised they're saying 2020. That would be wicked if it comes out in 2020. I did predict that it might get announced in 2020, but if it gets announced and it comes out in 2020, then I'll be more than happy. All they got to do is use the engine they've created for, you know, Shenmue 3, and then kind of just fix it up a little bit, touch it up a tiny bit, you know, because it's not a perfect engine by any stretch. But yeah, if they can just sort of, give me 2 seconds, I've got to charge my laptop, it's about to die. If they can just kind of work with the engine and you fine tune it a little bit, we could get something that is, you know, miles better than Shenmue 3. Way better than Shenmue 3. And with the PS5 coming out, they're going to probably release the game, you know, in time for the PS5 and also like a PS4 port. And it's got to look the business at the end of the day if it's going to stand, you know, with all the other next generation games that are coming. So yeah, it's inevitable. I do think we're on the right track to getting a Shenmue 4. I think that they have a lot of money left over. There's a few people in my comment section that said there's a lot of money left over from, you know, the making of Shenmue 3, which is great. I think they're going to get backing. I'm really hoping that Sony step in a little bit more, like than they did with Shenmue 3, and help, you know, back this conclusion or this continuation of the story. But you look, at the end of the day, look, I only want, like, at most 2 more games. I generally just want Shenmue 4 to tell this massive story like Shenmue 2 did, because Shenmue 3 felt shorter than Shenmue 2. Maybe that's just me, that's just on me. But yeah, it felt more the size of Shenmue 1. Shenmue 2 was fucking epic, like, it was huge, and it was a massive story, like a massive plot, with so many threads, and I think that Shenmue 4 should be like that, and I also think that maybe you should end it with Shenmue 4. If, however, it has to go to Shenmue 5, then all you guys who are fans of stuff, you know, you've got to, like, support Shenmue, because I don't think Shenmue 3 was that disappointing in the way that, you know, us fans of stuff, us diehard us diehard fans of Shenmue, you know, were offended by it, because I personally wasn't, you know, I liked it. I didn't not enjoy my time in that world and, you know, getting that Shenmue experience, because it really does feel like a Shenmue experience, and it is a Shenmue game at its heart and its core. So yeah, like, you know, I like Shenmue 3, you know, yeah, okay, a lot of people are gonna have to wait to see how Shenmue 4 progresses, but as for diehard fans, I can't see a lot of diehard fans like myself disliking Shenmue 3 that much, like, I really can't. I can understand all the bullshit and stuff, even if you're a diehard fan, and the bullshit that surrounded the game, and the stuff with Epic and YSNet and all that crap. I can understand if you were pissed off about that, and you didn't want to support that. That's cool, yeah, that's you do you. But I had to just, do you know what I mean? I had to step away from that and just look at it as a product. You know what I mean? There's a ton of Hollywood directors that fucking suck balls, you know, that are fucking shitbags. Take Harvey Weinstein, producer of films like Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. Am I gonna never watch those films and just, like, sell them? No, because I fucking love those films. You know, you have to kind of look at the products on their own merits, and it's the same with Shenmue 3. Yeah, the stuff the Epic Games and the rest of them were doing was shitty, and, you know, it does have flaws, but at the same time, what did people expect? We all knew it was going to have flaws. At the end of the day, it's a Kickstarter backed project, you know, it doesn't have hundreds of millions put into it. So yeah, like, I personally judged the game on its own merits, and it was perfectly fine, you know, as a sequel. It wasn't as good as the first, wasn't as good as the second, but it was a good continuation. So yeah, that's all that I've got to really say on Shenmue 4. Looks like, by the looks of things, it's going to be getting done, and if we get it in 2020, I'm fucking happy, you know, but don't rush it, please, which I don't think they will do. So yeah, it's cool, like, it's cool news. There is always the possibility that it might not come to fruition, you know, it might not happen. That's a big possibility, you know, it's kind of up in the air at the moment. Yu Suzuki saying, I want to continue, that's cool, you know. as the director, as the writer and stuff of Shenmue, of course he wants it to continue, you know. He's had fun creating a Shenmue game again. He wants to kind of continue the story and you know, and end it and stuff. So yeah, like, but because he just because he wants something doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, he can do all the conceptual art and he can do all the script writing and everything else. I know he's already wrote out the script anyway, but he can think about it, he can visualize it, but at the same time, you know, it actually happening is two very different things. It all hinges really on if a developer like Deep Silver is going to get involved, you know, outside kind of sources are going to come in. If the money's going to stretch, you know, and cover this budget. They already have the engine, you know, made already, so that's not a problem. And they could just sort of, like I said before, work on that, you know, and make it look a bit better and spruce up the visuals and stuff, the graphics a little bit. But yeah, it's all up in the air at the moment, but that is at least something new, some new news on, you know, Shenmue 4, and maybe it will come out in 2020. Who knows? If it does, I'm gonna be fucking excited all over again, because that's great. Getting the next chapter a year later, yes please. We're getting Resident Evil 3, like the remake of Resident Evil 3 this year. So, you know, we had RE2 just last year. So maybe these companies are, you know, kind of trying to get these games out sooner rather than later. Yeah, it's cool. So that's all the news I've got for you guys. I'll link the Metro article down below in my description, so check that out, you know, if you want to, if you're in the core. But most of what I read is all the stuff that's on there. Yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel, because I cover Shenmue news, Resident Evil news, Half-Life, anything like that, you know, tons of games. I'm a huge fan of multiple genres and different games. So yeah, consider subscribing. And I've been System Check 66, and once again, I'm out of here. Peace.